Hey YouTube, Earl of Pipes. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing Haddo's Delight. Haddo's Delight is a Virginia Perique blend by Mr. GLP's, blended by Cornell and Deal. And let's kind of just dive right in tonight to our review. Let's not waste our time. First, let's talk about what kind of cut this is. All right. So it is a ribbon cut. You can see it's nice, fine ribbons, especially for Cornell and Deal. The components in here are Virginia. You got burley, you got Perique, and a little bit of unsweetened, unflavored Cavendish. And it's got a light topping rum or brandy topping on there. On the tin note itself, as I mentioned last week when I did my first impression, it's really kind of spot on for my first impression. You get a hint of cocoa, but that, as the tin has been open longer, that has gone away. The brandy or the rum topping, the sweetness that is there is a little bit more apparent. And you've got that kind of, what most people say figgy or raisiny, or that stewed fruit flavor is there. A little bit of grassiness, right? But overall very good. Cuts fine, packs very easy. Moisture content is just about perfect. You might need to let it dry for just a minute or two, but not much at all, okay? I find that maybe at the most 5 minutes or so, that when I dry it, it's good and it's ready to go. So I've got a pipe loaded up. I've probably smoked a quarter of it tonight, and I am smoking in this lovely, this lovely Radice Hawkbill. So let me fire it up and kind of tell you about the smoke itself. Now, my first impression video, I told you there was a lot going on. It was complex. It was kind of hard for me to describe. The Perique wasn't asserting itself too much, but it was mostly Virginias and Burleys right off the bat. And I talked about kind of getting that Virginia, that grassy Virginia, kind of right off the bat. And that is true. One of the things, though, that I did talk about is that there was a harshness here. The longer that my tin has been open, it's been open about a week now, that has diminished with each day. So it's interesting to me how blends change once you open a tin, and what you smoked the first time, how it will change and evolve as the tin has been open. And I think that's kind of universal, and that's the reason why people will tell you, don't completely base your opinion on a tobacco on your first try of it. Try it a few times. But this blend still very much even though the tin description says generous portions of Perique, and it might have a generous portion in there, it's very much in the background. And the sweetness from the Virginias are primarily what you get. So you get like a sugary, like somewhere between a honey and a molasses kind of sweetness from these Virginias. You got a nutty, chocolatey component there. There is some pepper from the Perique, but it's ever so slight in the background. The topping is there, but it doesn't come through quite as much in the smoke as you might expect. And I think the black Cavendish plays just a really good supporting role. If I had to make a guess on that, it's probably there to smooth the blend out a little bit. As I've smoked it throughout the week, I've really come to like the blend. I don't find it's probably not a great evening blend. I smoke most of my pipes in the evening. But I love to barbecue. So I was barbecuing last weekend and had barbecued some stuff that required a good bit of my attention, and for me to sit there by my smoker and watch the temperature. And so I had a bowl or two of this that day, and it just works well. I don't really get any tongue bite with it. You don't have to worry about that. The nicotine hit can be significant, and I found it sometimes stronger, sometimes not. But my wife and I were on the back porch a few nights ago, and she was having a glass of wine, and I was smoking a pipe and had a little bit of scotch with it. And not scotch, I had some Jameson Irish whiskey, and I don't know which one. I didn't have much Jameson, so I don't think it was the alcohol, but I certainly was beginning to feel a little buzz to it. So it does have a significant nicotine hit. But I would imagine that if you like vapors and you don't mind a little something extra, that top note in there, that you would like Haddo's Delight. While there are hints of something kind of chocolatey on the tin note, it's very light. Like I said, that's kind of gone to the background. I would imagine that that's probably just the burleys. I don't know if it's been topped with any kind of cocoa powder at all. I'd imagine probably not. But there is, like I said, a little nutty, chocolatey flavor. It's very Virginia burley forward with Perique in the background. Overall, really good blend. I went into it not necessarily expecting to like it because of the Perique. Haven't decided what I think about Perique. Some blends it works in really well for me. Some blends it doesn't. So I'm not a Perique lover. I'm a Latakia lover. So I guess for those of you who like Perique and are not and just love it, that this blend probably is, I don't know if this would be something you like or not. But I'm happy to say the harshness has gone away. I think that was really important to me, that kind of some harsh overtones are no longer there. So, guys, I've given you about all I can give you on this blend, I think. It's a really good blend. It harmonizes really well. It's got good flavor. It's got good sweetness. It's got earthiness. It's got chocolatiness. It's got sweetness. Not going to bite you. The moisture's perfect from 10. If you're a Virginia lover and you like vapors, I think it's something you ought to try at least once. I know the reviews can be a little bit mixed, mainly because of the top note. I know that gets divisive. People sometimes don't like it. They feel like that can ghost a pipe. I haven't really had that problem of this ghosting a pipe. It's a good blend. I think it runs you about 11 bucks all in line. I get mine from Smoking Pipes. Anyway, guys, this is Earl of Pipes. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you do, go ahead, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. It's been the Earl of Pipes. Y'all stay safe. Bye.